Welcome to Course Start, your field assignment. This course follows Satish as he turns one ambiguous AI request into a defensible deployment decision. You will learn the role by working the engagement. First, observe what users do, what systems know, and which owners have authority. Then, decide what can be promised, tested, operated, or refused. Finally, build evidence that allows another engineer or customer owner to inspect the reasoning. You are not expected to know the FDE title before beginning. Basic familiarity with software, APIs, data, and AI applications will help, but every field decision will be explained in context. The course uses one continuous case. You will not study disconnected definitions. You will watch the same customer request gain evidence and technical boundaries. The customer request comes from IST Field Services leadership. Use AI to improve dispatch. Field evidence reveals the actual coordinator workflow, contradictory source data, safety restrictions, and missing production ownership. A technical boundary converts those discoveries into permissions, schemas, validators, fallback behavior, and named human authority. The resulting deployment recommendation is narrower than the opening request, but it is implementable, measurable, and supportable. IST Field Services is fictional. Its systems and constraints are designed to make the engineering decisions concrete without representing any existing company or customer. Your cumulative artifact is an FDE Engagement Brief. Each lesson completes a different section. The final defense uses the assembled record rather than memory. The problem record captures the verified workflow and operational decision. The ownership map names who decides, implements, approves, supports, and receives an escalation. The system boundary identifies identity, data sources, model behavior, tool permissions, validation, and human authority. The evaluation contract defines the evidence required to release, expand, fallback, or stop. The final recommendation states what the team will promise, what it will defer, and what it will refuse. Use the blank workbook for your answer. The completed IST example is an answer key, not a shortcut. Here is how to navigate the course. Use the workbook before Satish reveals his route. Then compare your evidence and reasoning with the completed IST example. Watch the evidence until a lesson reaches its decision prompt. Pause and commit to a route in writing, even if your answer is incomplete. Compare reasoning after the work route appears. Focus on the evidence that changed the conclusion rather than whether your wording matches. Keep the artifact and carry the improved record into the next lesson. This rhythm turns passive viewing into practice without adding quizzes that only test vocabulary. The finish line is practical. Success is not remembering a title. It is making a technically credible field decision from incomplete customer evidence. You should be able to explain the role using observable responsibilities. Inspect a request without confusing urgency with truth. Design an AI workflow with executable authority and failure boundaries. And defend a recommendation using technical evidence, customer impact, production ownership, and explicit refusal. Keep the workbook open. Lesson 1 begins with the work itself and answers the first question. What does a forward deployed engineer actually own?